You landed an interview with Alex Hormozi?
Yeah, I applied 2.5 weeks ago, so I was like, oh my God, wait, I applied to that role and I just heard back. So today I've cash collected about $200,000 as a setter. And my first offer was literally from like your job board. Within like a week and a half, I was able to literally cash collect 24K. To be able to like work with you and then land an offer within like less than 2 weeks and then be able to actually have my investment back, that was the moment where I was like, okay, I can actually make money online. Like I'm literally seeing the results. I'm really happy that I was able to work with you, because if I wasn't, I don't know how I would have been even able to find an offer. From then on, like I would say my life completely changed. The biggest thing I had to overcome, and I feel like I'm actively working on it, is the feeling of not really seeing results and feeling that you're not progressing.
Let's get right to it. No, we're talking. You landed an interview with Alex Hormozi?
Yeah.
Offer
Just
accepted?
checked my emails today and I was like, I applied 2.5 weeks ago. So I was like, oh my God, wait, I applied to that role and I just heard back. So that was pretty good. And one of my friends who is a closer, she knows a guy that's like literally setting on the offer. So we have a call soon. Just talk about like the interviewing process and what's, going on with it and everything.
That's
Just
amazing.
to give like that extra bump to like really land the offer. But I'm excited, yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. So now it's really time to print.
Yeah.
Okay. Now give me a good feeling about your past offers. How much did you cash collect? How were they? What was like the hard things about them? What were the good things about them?
Yeah. So today I've cash collected about $200,000 as a setter. And my first offer was literally from like your job board. It was with Isha Vision, and I was mainly setting. Within like a week and a half, I was able to literally cash collect 24K. Literally not even like,
Let's
it was
go.
like the first offer ever. So it was like going into it and everything was amazing, because it was like, you know, to be able to like work with you and then land an offer within like less than 2 weeks and then be able to actually have my investment back, like
Yeah.
that's insane. Like that was the moment where I was like, okay, I can actually make money online. Like I'm literally seeing the results.
Yeah.
And so from then on, like I would say my life completely changed. My perspective on like, high ticket sales was more like, okay, you put in the work, you put in the effort, you put in the hours, you will get the results. You are going to be able to make the money that you want to make, right? Obviously, with the right vehicle, with the right resources, like you. So, I'm really happy that I was able to, work with you, because if I wasn't, I don't know how I would have been even able to find an offer. Like I told you, I was burned from.
All it takes is connection, honestly. You need to
Yeah.
want more than breathing, and honestly, that's why you're here. I mean, Saba, you're a good setter. You're even a great closer. So, honestly, these offers are lucky to have you. But what are like some of the pros and cons about it? Like, what are some of the things that you had to deal with, but you just pushed past it because you saw that the other side of the wall was greater?
Yeah, like in the space or in general. Okay,
Just
yeah.
in
So
general, in your journey itself.
yeah, I would say in my journey, there have been a lot of, ups and downs, I would say, in terms of like the progression. And it's kind of like, when people they get into this space and they automatically assume like, oh my God, I'm gonna make like 10 grand per month. I'm gonna be able to, move out. I'm gonna be able to get the car I want, because you're seeing a perception online of what high ticket sales
Yeah.
is. But it's really not that. Like when you get into it, then you actually see like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting, like I have to do follow-ups, I have to do referrals, upsells, I have to learn along the way. There's so many things that you need to do in order to even be able to hit like 4 grand, 5 grand, like those numbers.
You
And then
gotta
like
be in sales for the love of it. You gotta love sales.
you like motivation is like one thing, but you have to you have to be more than motivated. You have to be disciplined. Discipline isn't even enough. You have to be obsessed with it. Like that's really like I
Exactly.
was obsessed with it when I first had my
I
offer.
literally tell that to everyone on the group calls. It's like you
That's
have
what it is, right? And that obsession will take you so far, because no matter what you do at the end of the day, even if you have a bad day, because we all have our good and bad days, if you're not like getting sets in, if you're not closing deals, that obsession will take you so far. It's like, you know what, it's a bad day. I'm gonna learn from my mistake. It's okay, tomorrow's gonna be even better.
yeah.
Like you have to let all of the losses uplift you, because a winner is somebody who was a loser, but they just tried one more time.
So if you can go back right now and to the version of yourself that started in its first ever day in her high ticket sales journey, what would you tell her? You could tell her only one sentence.
I would tell her to believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Don't
Don't push. I'm really excited for your journey with Alex Hormozi. I'm excited to see what this actually, because this is amazing. You're just gonna have so many warm leads, and I know with warm leads you are definitely gonna crush it. My main thing is, what was the biggest barrier and all of everything? Like, what was the biggest thing that you had to overcome?
The biggest thing I had to overcome, and I feel like I'm actively working on it, is the feeling of not really seeing results and feeling that you're not progressing. Because it's like there's so many people who are, because I'm, training with Yash. So it's like there's so many people who are my age there and they're doing like 20 grand commissions per month, 30, 40, 50, 100 grand per month. And it's like you see those people and you look at it, the offers they're on, you're like, how are they able to do those numbers?
It's tough to put yourself as your own enemy.
Exactly. You don't want to compare yourself with people because they had a different journey than you. Not everybody's gonna have the same journey. So the biggest barrier for me is, I would say, having to overcome those limiting beliefs that it's just a matter of time. You will make it throughout a long enough trajectory. And it's really like important to think about like this. Yash says, like, you can never underestimate what you can do in a year, but you should not estimate or overestimate what you can do in a month, because people do that. And then if they say this month I'm going to do 10 grand per month, they don't do it. What happens? They don't see the results and they just don't do it anymore. So for me, it's like not overestimating what I can do in a month.
That's amazing. Honestly, I just see the sky as the ceiling. I always say, if you want to hit 100K in a month for commissions, aim for 200K. You want to hit 50K a month for commissions, aim for 100K. You always got to aim for double, because that's going to give you the motivation. Then you're going to actually reach even more problems. A lot of people, the reason they don't succeed is because they don't believe they can. It all starts with mindset, and a lot of people don't know that. That's why you're winning, because you have one of the strongest, like out of all my students, one of the strongest mindsets.
I want to add on to that. Mindset is so important. There's this girl who's on this mindset coaching offer, and she's literally also from Vancouver, and she's doing amazing. But like, one thing about her is that mindset. Like, we all preach it, but nobody talks about what it is to have the right mindset, because it's like, no matter what you do in life, if you have a perspective that's like stopping you from actually reaching your potential, it's gonna keep coming up in any shape, way, or form, whatever you do. No matter if it's sales, if it's your personal life, if it's whatever you're doing, you have to have a proper abundant mindset where you're operating off of a high frequency to be able to attract your desired reality. That's really what it is. So for me, reading books, educating myself, like on personal development, like that is what
part of that is also overcoming fear. A lot of the reason why a lot of people also don't become successful is fear. They fear a lot of things. Like, a lot of people will sit there and they'll think about one thing for a while. They'll overthink. They'll be like, what if it doesn't work? What if it does? What if it does? And honestly, that's where a lot of people mess up, because whenever they're 18 to 30, they're saying, what if it doesn't? But then when they're 30 to 50 and they have kids, they have responsibilities, and they actually have shit that they have to do, they have to pay rent, then they're like, okay, now it's time to start. So that's what I feel like, that's what I've been trying to get a lot of people to realize. Like, there isn't that much time when you really look at your whole lifespan to really invest in yourself. And at the end of the day, during that time span that you have where you don't have things that you have to pay for and you can easily invest in yourself, find your passion. Because like you said, if you find, I personally say anything will make you money. Literally anything in this world can make you rich. You just have to want it more than breath. You have to be obsessed with it. 100%. Whenever that happens, it will work, because like you also said, you will fail, you will fail, you will fail, and you will fail again, but then you will win.
I agree with that 100%. And I feel like in today's generation, there's so many young people I'm seeing, like literally as young as like 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds getting into high ticket sales, and then assuming that, within like a year they're going to make it big. But it's like, no, you have to, it takes time.
How to get to heaven.
Exactly. And it's like, when you're 30, when you're 40, like you're going to have responsibilities, you're going to have kids, you're not going to have time. I fundamentally believe as soon as you're out of high school, and I'm lucky that I did this when I was out of high school, I invested like $20,000 into a private school, like 11 months for like fashion business, marketing, because I wanted to learn those skills, right? Because that was my passion. Literally 18-year-old, and I was able to put myself in that position to succeed. And at the end, being one of the youngest people in the cohort, in the, in the program, I was able to get like entrepreneur of the year, top student, $500. Like literally, it was amazing. And I feel like that was like the moment where I was like, you know what, I have all the potential I need to be able to go out and do bigger things in life. And fast forward a year from then, or a year and a half, I got into sales and I invested into myself. Because it's like, you know, when you're so young and you're doing challenging things that people literally are starting to do in their 30s, you're going to have so much, number one, conviction in yourself. You're going to have confidence and self-esteem. And those things are fundamental in terms of sales because you're going to be able to overcome the fear you have. Fear is just a feeling.
You shouldn't fear anything but God. Any God that you believe in, you shouldn't fear anything but God. That's the only thing that you should honestly fear. And when you do fear nothing but God, you will see that a lot more doors are open because you're on not an emotional mindset, but you're on a logical mindset.
Yeah.
And like you said, that's when everything really aligns because your head is a lot clearer. You're able to make decisions better. You're not really panicking. A lot of the bad decisions that a lot of people regret that they make are emotional. They're emotion. If you think about it, criminals, they go to jail because they did an emotional action. So if we even dial it back a bit, you know, even if you did an emotional action, it's little, you know, we still did it because we're emotionally. So if we stop thinking emotionally, think logically, it really helps out every person that will do it.
Exactly. No matter what, like fear is going to be there. And by the way, like if you didn't have any fear when you made a decision, then it's like,
It's not the right decision. It wasn't the right decision.
Yeah. That's the thing that's like, like for example, it's like my mentor talks about this is when you're setting like 3 months goals for yourself, do a number that seems scary to hit, but it still seems realistic, but it kind of has you feeling like, oh, can I actually do this, right? There's some like uncertainty, but that's the thing. Making decisions based on where you want to go is going to get you closer to where you are. Making decisions based on where you are right now with emotion isn't going to get you to where you want to go. It's only going to keep you stuck, you know? So that's the mindset you should have.
And I mean, like, hey, if you would have, I know the first offer you cash collected money and then something kind of went downhill. If you would have quit from there, you would have never gone the interview with Alex Hormozi.
Exactly.
So everything's going, and I have no doubt that you're going to get placed. That's why I'm already so hyped. You're definitely going to get placed on that offer, and it's going to be insane. It's actually going to be insane. For you, you're going to be going crazy, Saba, and I'm going to be so happy.
I'm going to be so happy. Like, I've been following Alex Hormozi and Layla Hormozi for a hot minute now, and literally seeing the email pop up was like, hold on. Because you know, when you don't expect things to happen and they happen to you, like, you live in the abundance mindset, and that's when you start attracting opportunities, you know? I'm excited. I just can't wait for it.
I mean, Alex Hormozi, right? Are you going to be a setter or a closer?
So the opportunity is a setter, but because obviously I've been doing this for a while, I'm trying to, like, at the moment, really move into closing. And I'm working with my coaches from the Impact team to really nail down, like, what can I actually train on to, like, fully become good enough to close. I have full conviction in myself that obviously, like, I can have closed before, but at the moment right now, it's more so about like continuing onward setting for a bit, and then once the opportunity comes.
Yeah, you want to close for Alex Hormozi, or you want to close for a different offer?
I would definitely love to close for Alex Hormozi. Like that would be amazing. And I do have an opportunity actually from your job board lined up with closers.io.
So many opportunities. Oh my God.
They're putting me in their pipeline, but they told me it might take like about 3 weeks to actually get you on a closing role. So I was like, okay, I mean, for the short term, we can kind of stick with Alex Hormozi's offer, see how it goes, and then like scale up to a closer while I'm still in their pipeline. So like if new business owners see me, they see my, you know, profile and they want to hire me, then there you go. So like, that's what I'm saying. Never decline an opportunity. Always stay open to it. That's like a big important thing in this space.
Doesn't matter if you're closing for the Impact team themselves. Stay open to offers.
Always stay open, yeah.
Exactly, because there isn't a limit. There isn't really a limit. I've seen offers that are doing 30 mil a month in revenue that we have placed students, and it's just insane. It really is. I mean, I'm sure you've seen on the job board, maybe even not, but there's an offer with a $170,000 OTE.
I've seen that. I was like, is that even possible? And I'm like, wait, hold on. Okay, it is. But I
looked into it. I personally thought it was not real. I was about to remove it off the job board at first, but after I really looked into it, I went into the guy's Instagram. I saw it was a health offer. So I was just like, okay, now minerals, health, like all of that stuff. Now this is really doable. The guy was really popular. He had a ton of views. So I was like, I don't see why not. If he has like a ticket price of like 10 to even 50K.
Yeah, it's possible.
And people buy that stuff. Like,
especially especially today, like all the peptides and all these things and stuff. Like
Yeah,
those
yeah.
offers are doing insane.
Even though peptides, I heard they're gonna get released soon for behind the counter. I'm pretty sure. I have no idea. I heard that from somewhere. So yeah, that's what I heard. I saw it off of video. I follow some people who do peptides. I don't do peptides myself, but
I don't
the
either,
main
but
processors that they have are insane.
yeah,
They
yeah.
have some really good financing. They really do.
Yeah, and the ICP for those offers would definitely be much more of like, older people, I would assume, people who definitely want to get their health back up, people who actually have money. So it makes sense why the OTE would be so high.
I mean, what's your goal here in the next month? What numbers you want to hit?
So my goal within like I would say the next, I look at it from like a 1 to 3 month trajectory
Yeah.
evaluation. And obviously like my big goal, like my overarching goal by the end of this 2026 year is to do 100K in commissions. And I have full conviction to be able to hit that 100%. So my goal within the next 1 to 3 months is 20 grand in commissions, which is Canadian, which is like equivalent to I think $15,000 USD.
Let's go. I know you can hit it.
Okay.
I don't doubt it. I know you can hit it, and I'm stoked to see it. Honestly, I'm stoked to see which offer you stick with, even though I'm pretty sure we all know it's going to be Alex Hormozi's. And honestly, I'm curious to see where you'll go. I'm sure you'll go crazy places. So you'll go crazy.
I'm really happy, because it's like no matter what. And this is the power of really believing in yourself and having conviction and like not giving up. Even if you've been burned, even if you've been like, fucked over by people, just all of this have happened to me. So I could actually learn from those things and move on rather than those coming down the line when I have other things to worry about, So I'm glad that they happened in the beginning of my career in sales.
Honestly, whenever I saw the text that you landed an interview with Alex Hormozi, I was like, what? Am I reading that correct? I showed it to Rama, actually, the guy that we were on the phone with too.
Yeah.
His face was like, let's fucking go.
I know, I'm so happy. Yeah. I have a call with that one guy I was telling you about who was literally dialing today on the offer, and I'm like, let's do it, So
I created the picture for the testimonial. I think that's the best testimonial I have. Interview with Alex Hormozi.
It's really crazy. Yeah. I'm super excited because there's so much growth that I know, because it's like when offers are that big, you obviously can expect like you can easily scale up to a closer. And that's the goal. You know what I mean? So
whenever you get on the interview, just make sure. This is what I say to all my students. I'm sure understand it more in depth. For them, I touch the basics, and I taught it to Christian. He got chosen 1 out of 70 on an offer where they had 400,000 followers. All I told him, and he was super smart. Guy like you, locked in mindset. He had to go somewhere, sadly, for 3 years. But don't sell yourself. Qualify yourself. And essentially, once you qualify yourself and you also ask questions to qualify the offer, a lot of people, whenever like beginners, more experienced people don't, but beginners will see offers here and think of them as here. And then they'll suck up to the offer and like, please hire me. And then that kind of drives the bad energy. Like, they won't really want to hire them to see that they haven't had much opportunities in the past. They're not really acting experience. So when you pull back a little bit, you ask questions about their offer, like, hey, what are your leads looking like? What is the system looking like? What am I going to be calling through? I'm just throwing random questions right now. It makes you seem a lot more informed on, that you want to know what you're getting yourself into. You're a lot smarter than the average setter. You're not going to just jump in that. And honestly, I would hire a setter that asks me questions about what he's getting into rather than someone will just be like, yeah, let's just jump into lava.
Exactly. It's just common sense. And I feel like that's really important you mentioned that, especially because when I first had my offer, like I knew about the different CRMs, but I never asked like, what are the leads like, what's CRM I'm going to be using, what is the offer doing per month? Like I didn't ask those questions because I wasn't informed, but because I was able to get that offer, I actually learned throughout the way and I had to educate myself. You need to do your own education. You can't just wait for people to tell you what to do, right? So it's really important, like now that I have interviews, that I always ask like those questions, like what are the leads like, what source are they coming in from? What's the marketing looking like? How much monthly are you guys doing right now? Who is the best performing setter and how much are you doing in cash collected? Like it's so important to ask those questions because it's good for you to know those things before you take on an opportunity where you're going to be like working 8, 10, 12 hours a day. And the other person that's interviewing you to really know like, okay, this person knows their shit. They're coming in, they want to be prepared, and they really want this offer to align with them. So
overall, it makes you on the same level as everyone. and like that you guys can be a team. Because
Exactly.
if you're underneath them and they see themselves as a knowledge gap between you two and they see themselves as smarter, you guys aren't on the same line and you guys aren't going to be able to become
So
fans.
qualify yourself. Don't try to act as desperate for an offer.
Exactly. That offer that Christian got placed on, it was really good. It had a 1.5K base.
Wow.
On
That's
top of percentage.
yeah. I'm pretty sure Alex
Crazy offers out of here.
Oh, and even Alex's offer has a base. I forgot what it was. I'm pretty sure it's like 2K or something. There's
Let's
a base.
go. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm actually so hyped for you, Saba. Let's run it. If you need any help, book calls, you already know. I got you. Honestly, just keep me updated. I'm so hyped for you. Let me know once you get placed.
Yeah, the interview is next Monday, so I'm gonna let you know how it goes, but I know I have it,
I
inshallah.
already know you have it. I'm just waiting for next Monday. You read down me. Levi, I got placed on Alex Hormozi's offer.
That's
like,
insane.
no
Like,
way. That's actually crazy.
yeah.
So, alrighty, Saba. Well, I'll chat to you then over messages. Anything you want to tell the viewers on the other side?
I would say that no matter where you are in your journey in this space, even if you are just beginning, you know, or you're even a sales manager or you're running your own offer, whatever it is, always make sure to, you know, do the hard things first thing in the morning. Make sure that you are elevating yourself constantly and never let fear or limiting beliefs hold you back because they will keep you stuck where you are. You need to make decisions based on where you want to go, not where you are, if you really want it bad enough. That's all I'm gonna say.
You know ball, Saba. You know ball. You know exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Honestly, guys, that's the one thing I can tell. Do the hard thing first. That's what 2026 is all about for me personally. Even whenever the year started, I told myself it's about doing the hard that will make you grow, pushing the needle forward.
Right.
Growth is built.
Exactly.
Anyways, it was an amazing time talking to you, Saba, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Okay, sounds good. Bye.